Hello, Swivelheads. It's Greg Allison with Swivelhead News, coming to you late live here on Thursday morning. Guys, a lot of people are panicked right now. That's understandable given the nature of what's in front of us, given the nature of tensions ratcheting up with what might go down in the Mideast. But there's a couple of channels out there that are really putting it out heavy tonight, and they got a lot of people really panicked. I know, because I'm getting messages from people that think that mushroom clouds will be flying in the morning. I don't think so. I got accused of being a fearmonger so much, but I say this: let's just calm down, take a deep breath, and let's look at things. Let's analyze things. And I always tell you, never panic. Keep your head on your shoulders, or you may not have it on your shoulders. So, guys, I've even had my credentials questioned tonight in the pursuit of trying to calm things down. So just as a reminder, I do keep up with things. I do understand world politics, military strategy, and so forth. I've been in this game for a very long time. For an example, back in 1973, well, 51 years ago, when I was in middle school, this was my reading. I joined the military book company. These weren't the only books I got from them. It's just some I just pulled off the shelf. What's this? The American Way of War, Total War. This is not light reading. These are not little paperbacks. Patent papers. Okay, enough said for that now. Let's get into the news. So let's talk about what's going down. We'll just go straight to the news. So we're going to dispel a little bit of the panic, maybe. A lot of people were talking about the situation where there were guns, bases were locked down in the United States. Bases are locked down in the United States. And I heard all the bases in the United States were locked down. Well, yeah, we had a base locked down. We had Air Force Base up there in Grand Forks locked down. As you know, this is one of our nuclear bases. But guess what? It was all about somebody reported hearing a gunshot. And so that's standard procedure in a situation like that. So, but it's no longer locked down. Okay. A lot of people are concerned about Israel striking back when they'll strike back. And the other were articles from Iran saying they would hit back immediately, 10 times harder. There'd be no Israel. I'll show you all that. But now, all this could be fifth dimensional chess. You know, what I'm about to show you. It could be, you know, just a case of, better watch out, Greg will hit you with books instead of kibbles. Oh, all right. Well, yeah, guys. So there is, yeah, we have a lot of tension in the world. I'm expecting, you know, I said we're in World War III, and I'm expecting it to escalate, but I don't think we're going to see mushroom clouds first thing in the morning. Now, this is as good, my guarantee to you is as good as EMP shield. Of course, after the EMP, you're not going to be able to sue them that their device didn't hold you up for 42 EMPs. All right, enough said on that. So, guys, calm down. You got a little time left, it looks like, but things are tense. I mean, things could go off the rocker any minute, always could. But, you know, you expect a certain buildup. Now, indeed, that the, you know, surprise is the, you know, it's how you win. It's surprise. If we wanted to do an attack, we would absolutely make it look like we weren't going to do one. And that's the kind of stuff we're reading in the press right now. Times of Israel. Israel badly miscalculated. Oh, let's read. Oh, shoot. I hate that. Let's read. I was going to show you an article. Okay, we got badly miscalculated severity of Iranian response. And that, well, that one I was going to show you. They wouldn't change the articles on me. But anyway, here we go. Biden urges Congress to act on aid for Israel. Well, what some of the articles I was wanting to show you is that, and let's see, maybe it's some of these articles back now. Okay, well, they've already updated here. This is live updates they're putting in here. See, it's nothing that sounds panicky right here. But what they were saying, and maybe it'll be in one of these other articles here. Yeah. I don't have it open right now. That is not. Maybe it's here. I should have just opened the article and I had the website open. I had it open too long. It's done moved. All right, here we go. This takes us to what I was going to show you. U.S. approves Rafah op in exchange for no Israeli counterstrikes on Iran, according to this report. No Israeli counterstrikes. Well, now, I saw another article, which was originally on the Times of Israel, which claimed that was a case of not no counterstrikes, but limited. So there's a little bit of disagreement in some of the stuff coming out in the press. So I don't know what Joe Biden directly said to Netanyahu. Nobody knows except them and what they reported. But it may not, this is an indicator. Oh, yeah. One of the other things, let's see, is that in this article, one of them was saying that any counterstrike probably wouldn't occur until after the end of the Passover, which is the 30th of April. Of course, they were poised to strike immediately. The strikes were approved by the War Council in Israel. Now, it could be that all the posturing, there's a lot of EAMs going off the charts right now. I know that. And our Kingmaster, Skymaster, all the top level coordinators of our nuclear forces, that's true. It's not the first time. There are, of course, also aircraft, nuclear-capable bombers being loaded with nuclear-capable cruise missiles. And some of them may be in the air. Well, that's not the first time. There's KC-135 and maybe other tanker flights going to strange places. Well, it's not the first time that's happened either. But it's happening while the world's in tension. So it's got everybody nervous right now. And there's nothing wrong with being a little nervous. We should be very aware. Keep your eyes open, head on a swivel. I tell you that all the time. But also tell you, don't panic. So I'm just trying to bring a little calm to the situation. I think we are probably in the calm before the storm. And how fast is it going to ratchet up? Well, this kind of article would suggest that the escalation might be a little slower than otherwise if this article is correct, if indeed there was an agreement between the U.S. and Israel. Now, hitting Rafah is going to inflame the Muslim world, and you can expect major counterstrikes. And indeed, during the so-called lull, Israel has been very active striking Hezbollah and took out a major Hezbollah commander in Lebanon. I don't even have that article open right now. I didn't open everything. It's late. Yeah, I've been monitoring all the same stuff everybody's been begging me to monitor and that they've been panicked over. And I fail to be panicked right now on what I'm seeing. I fail to be picking up what they're putting down because some people just put down too much stuff too often. When I read emergency alert 4 times a day from certain people, it's like, okay, well, let's wait and see. All right, folks. So anyway, let's move on. Yeah, I was told that X had an article out there saying that Iran was on high alert right now. Well, I searched X for that, and the latest thing I saw was on 12 April. I'm not saying there's not something else out there. I'm not saying they're not on high alert, and I'm not saying that it might not go off in the morning, but, just keep your head on your shoulder, guys. But things are testy right now. I do expect escalation. I have for some time. The Thigh Master. Harlow, that might be closer. Anyway, so we're in a bad time, very bad time, very serious time. But I think some people, that they overinterpret it, they overreact, guys. But you do need to be prepared. I do highly encourage you to check out Prep with Greg. The links will be below, and somebody will put them in the chat room here. They'll be below later on. But if the grid goes down, because listen, guys, we've had the threat, or not a threat. We know that the head of the Iranian Revolutionary Guard Corps told his people that they had over 20 of our major substations targeted in the United States by sleeper cells years and years ago. What do they got now? And if we really get into a full bore with Iran, if we become a real threat to their the current regime there, And it probably won't be the first thing they do, I don't think. But if we're a real threat to them, they'll probably activate those sleeper cells. And then you might not have power ever again. Something like this might be helpful to you. And right now you can get it at a great deal. This this device here, Grid Doctor 300. They call it a solar generator. No, that's not the solar generator. The panels of the solar generator. They always get that mixed up. But anyway, guys, just check that out. You can check, and you can also get $50 off a 4-week supply of food if you're so inclined. Might be a good time to stock up, especially if we're going to have a nuclear winter anytime soon. 911 centers were down, cut off in some states. Yeah, and some people got some eerie alert ahead of time. There may have been some hacking. Might have been a software glitch. We've seen that before. So we don't know fully what's happening here, but they're not all down. I would expect if there were going to be a nationwide attack, or if those certain substations were going to be hit, that maybe they would hit them. This has been down now for several hours. I expect something like this to happen beforehand. I would expect hacking to be much more widespread than that and hitting a lot of other critical systems. Okay, this was updated just a little bit ago. It says. So they've been updating this. Multiple states report this on Wednesday night. State of South Dakota. Now that's important because that's where a lot of our nuclear forces are located. But it is somewhat limited. It's not all states. Mine's not down. I didn't get no weird reports. Now it could happen. It could happen. And thank you, New Days, for sharing the link. That's the link you need to use if you want to help my channel. If you go straight to my Patriot, it won't help me. Use that link, please. If you would, it'll help me, and you'll get special deals there too. All right. Oh gosh. Hang on, guys. I got stuff in the way, and I can't even click on what I want to click on to end this because my screen things. And I got to move stuff around to close this stinking thing here. And close that. All right. If I subscribe to every one of these news services where I wouldn't get that, I would have to log into each one before I brought the article up. I'd never get anything posted. It'd take me so long. Now, indeed, before this so-called deal was struck with between Biden and Netanyahu, apparently, Netanyahu dismissed calls for restraint over Israel's attack, vowed Israel would defend itself. Now, this was published yesterday, and maybe that's where they're still at, and I'm assuming they still were going to do something. I can't believe Israel will just not do anything. I think they will, because we know Israel's been wanting to target the nuclear facilities in Iran. Netanyahu urged by ministers to hit sensitive facilities in Iran. See, some of the attack as soon as possible, it says here. We do know that some of the attack scenarios were just to hit the forces, the batteries that launch missiles and drones at Israel. That was one of the options that we're supposedly looking at. And if you wanted to go tit for tat, that would be understandable. Israel has long chomped at the bit to go after these nuclear facilities, which I assume this is what they're referring here to by sensitive facilities. Iran will strike back with everything they got. And he said they'd do it immediately. They wouldn't wait. They did say, hey, we gave Israel 2 weeks, basically, like 12 days warning before we hit them. And of course, that gave us time to get our forces in line. But so, things could go off the charts anytime, especially if you hit Rafah. That's really going to, like they said they're going to, that's just going to make the Muslim world far more angry, and it will cause an escalation. I anticipate at some point Iran and Israel are getting into it. As Iran's president vowed, nothing would remain in Israel if Israel launches the tiniest invasion. Well, there's a difference between an invasion and an attack. So what does he mean by tiniest invasion? Maybe it's a mistranslation. It is Fox News, but hey, even they can mistranslate stuff. This is President Ibrahim Raisi. And he's the one that made this statement. He gave a warning to Israel, said their response would be massive and harsh, far more than what they had hit them before. He vowed he would completely destroy Israel. they can get through Israel's missile defense, they probably could do that. But as I've asked the question before, did the response of Iran hitting Israel when they did suggest that they already had the bomb, they're already ready? I don't know. We may get mushroom clouds. I won't say we won't. I'm just not expecting them in the morning. Now, if you're watching this video, having your breakfast tomorrow, chances are I'm right. If you're not, like I said, it's at least as good. One of my words, at least as good as the guarantee from EMP Shield. Anyway. Yeah, they said they do it on their own time, but one of the articles I read, which was on Jerusalem Post, which already got overtaken, I'd have to go dig it out now, said that they were considering waiting until after Passover, which ends the 30th of April. If that's the case, you still got a couple of weeks. Or it might be a couple of minutes. If you listen to some people, some of the people putting stuff out right now would have you think it's any second. But, you know, I think you got a little time to prepare. I'm thinking you got a little bit longer before it escalates. I think they're biding their time with the escalation. I could be wrong. You know, the essence of war is the element of surprise. So maybe you want to tell everybody you got a deal and we're going home. We're not going to do nothing. Then you bang hard. That could be the case. But yeah, Arthur G, I feel like it's getting a little ridiculous. Some people are just out there panicking. They're putting out messages and scaring everybody to death. Everybody needs to be concerned. Everybody needs to be alert. Everybody needs to be aware. But keep your head on your shoulders. That's what I'm trying to say here. Lord, I believe everybody is doing well at the moment. So apparently Iran launched a non-interceptable hypersonic missile during that attack. So did they? Apparently not too many got through. Some people say video indicates over 20 missiles actually got through, and Israel said 9. So what was it? 7. So what was the case? And they claim little damage. Well, it's a fog of war. I guess we won't know. But did some of these non-interceptable missiles get intercepted? We know that the Ukrainians have been able to intercept non-interceptable hypersonic Kinzhal missiles with the Patriot missile system, which was not designed for that. So to say they're not interceptable is a stretch. They're difficult to intercept, yes. But that's not the whole story. Here's the rest of the story. U.S., not Israel, shut down most of the drones and missiles. Now, this is coming out of two different, India Today says the same thing. U.S. shot down most Iranian missiles and drones, not Israel, according to the report. Now, they may both be citing probably are the same report. We do know that the U.S. was actively involved. We knew that they were. We also know that the Standard Missile 3 got its first combat debut. That's a missile capable of taking out intercontinental ballistic missiles. So I assume that when he fired that thing, it had some good effectivity. It's also come out since the attack and some of the stuff's clear that American fighter jets were also involved in taking out some of these systems. Maybe they were just drones, maybe the cruise missiles, as was, of course, British fighter jets. We know that British and American fighter jets, I've even heard some rumors that the French were involved in that. I saw an article that said that, but I've only seen that cited in one place. So I don't know if the French were in it or not. But, guys, when you look at all the forces that Iran had, all the different countries involved in supporting Iran and all the countries and groups they support, and when you look at the forces that Israel's had defending them, these are many nations around the world. Now, we're going to say we're not in a world war. Hey, Lord, Dragon the Red, do you get the feeling our government officials are compromised in a similar way like the old invasion of the body? Salute you, Lord Dragon the Red. And yes, I also feel like governments are evil. All governments, bar none. I think they're all evil. Some might be a little less evil than others because some might be a little more accountable to their population. But more and more are trying to squelch that accountability out of the picture. That's what we got to watch out for. Thank you for the super chat. First of the night, you get the badge. Lord Dragon the Red, thank you. All righty. How well could Iran defend itself against the Israeli missile attack? Well, they've got quite a bad, look, they don't have any Air Force to speak of. Their Air Force stinks. So they try to make up for it with missile forces. They've got missiles, anti-aircraft missiles that are supposed to be better than the S-300s the Russians have, maybe as good as the S-400. So they've got quite, look, they know that, and they've expected for some long time that Israeli planes, maybe American planes, would come to make heavy strikes on Iran. So you can bet all this time they have been building up quite an air defense system. Iran now mostly operates Russian Sukhoi and MiG fighter jets. Yeah, so they got the old jets mostly. They had some old American F-4s. Maybe they got a few F-16s. I'd have to go back and check that, but they're not maintained. Yeah, U.S.-made F-4, F-5 fighter jets. What's that? Anyway, from back from 1979 when the Shah, Reza Pahlavi, was in power. Rodney, second super chat. Salute to you, Rodney. Rodney, you're always there for us. We appreciate it. So, let's see, where's the anti-missiles? Here we go. Iranian statement is said to have in some aspects superior to the Russian-made S-300, comparable to the more advanced S-400 missile batteries. And this is, I guess, they're Bavar 373. Anyway, guys, so they do have missile defenses. They're not combat tested, at least the ones made by Iran, except for in maybe training exercises. So we might soon see just how well they do. We don't know yet. And I wouldn't want to be flying into Iran to do a strike mission, I'll tell you, against those kind of things. That may be why Israel might be tempted to hit them with what they call an Ebomb, basically an EMP, some kind of probably high altitude nuke. They might do that. It's possible. I'm not saying it's going to happen. You got to remember, Russians in their military doctrine consider an EMP to be not a nuclear attack, but an electronic attack, because it directly doesn't hurt anyone. Not directly. But over time, it'll take out almost everybody. I've gone over that before, and I'm not going to beat that horse tonight. Anyway, here what says the IDF has basically finalized the details on the revenge plot, but the decision that wasn't made yet, according to this, was the timing. And that still may be true, in spite of the supposedly deal with, well, it looks like Biden's sending money over there, maybe armaments, so maybe Israel has taken the deal and biding their time until the Muslim world gets mad at them for hitting Rafah. Oh, they're going to be very angry over that. Because that's, the Gazans are refugees trapped inside of an open air prison that's been under heavy bombardment from Israel with whatever, I'm not taking sides here. I'm just telling you kind of what's happening. And so you can expect the Muslim world is going to be inflamed. Now, just where I stand, I don't agree with war of any kind except for self-defense. But, Israel, from their standpoint, they're trying to keep Hamas from doing to them again what they did on the 7th of October. And of course, the Palestinians, they want to end the situation they've been dealing with for a long time. They're taking a huge sacrifice, and they did with that 7th October attack. So there's nothing pretty about this. It's off the charts ugly. Oh yeah, this is some of the strikes that Israel was doing. It says revenge on Iran, but it was actually hits on Hezbollah in southern Lebanon. That's what that boiled down to. And of course, that was back on Sunday. All right, let's go back here. So we know they've been in Iran strike on Israel was decoy, as Tehran collided that 10 times. A decoy? I don't think it was a decoy, but who knows, guys? Maybe just a prelude would be a better word. I don't think decoy fits. Anyway, now there's claims and concerns that Putin may actually launch nukes over the attacks that's just occurred recently in Crimea. I've said years ago that Russia would go to a nuclear war over Crimea. They're not going to give Crimea up, not easily. Alaska Soul, talking about certain channel was taking my comments off in his videos after I found out I was oh, he don't like you being with me, huh? Well, I guess maybe he's too close to our other good buddy. Interesting. Wow. Anywho, how about that? Well, I don't give in, I don't give in to the panic, guys. Now, here's an interesting article. If the Ukraine war is lost, but Hollywood and DC don't know it. Hollywood and DC ignore the fact that Russia's army is bigger than when the war began with Ukraine, and Ukraine can't keep up. What I tell you guys, what I've said from the get-go is that time is not on the side of Ukraine. I said if Russia, and I always said as an if Russia is determined to pursue this war and not give up on it, in the end they win. Just because in a war of attrition, they've got more people, they've got more money, and they've got more factories. It's a fact that they're also backed by China and Iran and South Korea, who sent a lot of stuff there. Thank you, New Days, for posting that. I'll check that out in a little bit. We probably have we got 71 in the room. It's pretty good for the late hour I come in here. I came in later tonight than ever, mainly because I was responding to a lot of people that were panicking, and I understand why. I get it. With all this, where we're at today and everything going down, I totally get it. But I'm just telling you guys, just calm down. Catch your breath. Now, as y'all might remember, what did Biden do as soon as Israel was hit? He called a meeting of the G7. Well, the G7 can solve all the problems because they can sanction anybody and everybody, and they'll just have to bowl over because that's just going to finish them. Well, what effect has that had so far? The opposite. Russia's growing faster than the U.S. and all other advanced economies, according to the International Monetary Fund. This is not Greg Allison. The International Monetary Fund is a pro-Western institution, very much pro-Western. And they're telling us that Russia's outgrowing all the rest of these economies. Oh, yeah, by the way, I got a video coming out tomorrow. I've already recorded it and uploaded it. It's on the Strait of Hormuz, and I'm explaining in that video why I don't expect Iran to close the Strait of Hormuz, and why actually the U.S. might do it. It's totally counterintuitive to what people think, but I explain it in that video. Ain't nobody else on YouTube. Now that I've said this, maybe somebody will come out with one. Maybe they'll beat me to the punch with it because I don't plan to post it till tomorrow afternoon. But it's already there. Just waiting to be posted. So, guys, seriously, everything ain't what it looks like on the surface. Now, I'm not saying they won't, entirely. I'm not saying they won't pick off ships. Here's another article, conversation. Ukraine is losing the war, and the West faces a stark choice. Help now or face research. Now, this looks like something the Ukrainians would write. Yep, okay. So there are a lot of people in Western European countries that are worried. Well, they need to step up the plate and quit relying on the United States to do everything for them. It's their backyard. Veronica, I woke up in my room feeling like it's 90 in there and got on here and caught you live. I'm glad you're here, Veronica. Hope it wasn't 90. Yeah, it is a little warmer now than normal. We're getting in the middle of springtime now, and it's warming up, hotting up. Anyway, there's plenty of room for things to go bad in many fronts of the world right now, and everything is escalating. I'm not saying things are not escalating. Frontline NATO countries will be staring down battle-hardened Russians able to more easily strike if Ukraine falls. Well, there's truth in that, but I don't know if listen, the real answer to this would be a peace treaty right now between Russia and Ukraine. Let Russia keep what they got, because most of what they got was provinces that wanted to be with Russia in the first place. Stop the war. Stop it now. Hey, Tracy Broken Wings, how you doing? I got a treat for you. I got a special treat for you. Ding, 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 ding. You have been smurfed. Now when Stray Kitten shows up, I got a treat for her too. If she's in the chat room, somebody tell me. All righty. Now, I would say China's been at war with us for a while. I said that. Not a kinetic bang bang war. But you see what this says. I have a hard time disagreeing with this article. But yet, what happened? San Francisco, they rolled out the red carpet for this guy a few months ago, and everybody was flying the Chinese flags. They were so happy to see him. Jeez. You know what? I don't personally know anybody we lost in the Gulf Wars. My son was over there in one of them. My son was over there in the Second Gulf War with Patriot missile battery. And they went all the way through Iraq, all the way up to the border of Syria. He was on the front line, tip of the spear. I've known people that were in Afghanistan. I don't know any personally anybody we lost over, but I know personally people we've lost to this. One of them worked for me. He's trying to go clean. His mom died. He had a relapse. It took him out. And this is something, this guy here is the one that scares me more than anybody because his worldview is extremely skewed. He grew up basically like a child star, like a child movie star, superstar. He's the head of his country. Nobody tells him anything you don't want to hear, or they wind up being dog kibbles, like his uncle that put him in power. Well, look what it said that he's doing according to U.S. report. You know, if you go back and watch my video, Nuke and Every Pot, what I was telling you guys is this can be done in garages, home laboratories, all over the world. This is why we've got to learn to get rid of all the hatred that exists in the world. We won't survive as a species if we don't find a way to stop fanning the fans of hatred. If we don't find a way to get along, we're going to have some serious problems. Hey, Kim, how you doing? Oh, yeah. Now back to my credentials just a minute. This is the oldest video of me on the internet that I know of. This was from the Memorial Day weekend. It was probably the Thursday of Memorial Day weekend, not the Monday. There's other videos of me throughout this conference. The 1993 ISDC, International Space Development Conference, that I chaired. When I opened the conference, what am I talking about? Military stuff. Like I tell you guys, I've been studying military strategy, reading the big heavy books the time I was just a lad. I mean, from 1973, I was 13 years old. I was reading that stuff 51 years ago.
You know, the interesting thing, I like to go back to this thing on World War II when we went 50 years ago and cut back 82 hours. If you were to look at our country at that time, we were probably a backwards nation. I mean, the United States had a good culture. We had good values, good principles. But technologically and economically, we weren't anything to really brag about. We were still, you know, a world power. But if you look at what we had in those days, you know, there was dirt roads everywhere. Out in the country, you know, nobody had city water. I mean, in fact, people were still most of drawing waters out of the well. There weren't even power available in a lot of areas. A lot of telephones were. The country was primitive. Yet, we found it within ourselves to fight wars on two sides of the world all at once and win them. And we emerged as the world power. And we went from there to fight a Cold War. You know, this shows a lot of resolve and a lot of capability. Today, we seem to think we just can't do anything. Here we have a lot of technology, a lot of new things, and so where's this idea come from that we just can't do anything?
Yeah, I went on to talk about the 1,000-Mile War, the Battle of Attu, and so forth. It was where we actually had American soil invaded. Hey, Rodney, go ahead and read my FB message to you. Oh, your Facebook message. Okay, hang on, guys. Yeah, I'm just showing this because a lot of people. I had somebody asking, "Who are you? What do I know?" Here I am on C-SPAN from 2008, 2006. That's me. Whole hour-long show on C-SPAN. Here I am, read into the congressional record. Greg Allison, chairman of the Executive Committee, National Space Society. At that time, it was the CEO of the society. By who? Senator Jim Inhofe. I don't pronounce his name right. I don't know. This man, he just retired from the Senate last year. Oklahoma. Here I am cited by none other than Buzz Aldrin on property rights in space. So I've been around, guys. So, all right, let me see what this Facebook message is that Rodney's talking about. But thank you for the super chat, Rodney, once again. Oh, okay, that's interesting to know. Well, that's what happens when you get sideways with that certain channel, as they come after you for a while. Okay. Now I'll have a conversation with Greg over there in New York Prepper soon. I just think he got a little excited tonight. It's understandable because the world is going up in flames and a lot of stuff is moving around. And there's a lot of activity. AMs are off the chart. I don't deny any of that. Guys, oh, look at this brand new fresh earthquake in Mexico. That's a big one. 5.3, Pozo Dulce, Mexico. Oh, look at here. We got a big one in Japan. 6.3. I don't know how you pronounce that. Iwajima. Wow, 6.3. That's a biggie, guys. Southern Japan. The Wandifuka plates got them on both the north and the south corners, 3.0. 4.9 off McNeil, California. Alaska's fairly quiet, except right here, Mag Rising and Shaggy. All right, we got a Yakutat. We got one out here at the islands, just a little east of where I was talking. That's ADAC right there. I was just talking about ADAC. Wow. Speak of ADAC, and wow, look here, New Madrid fault area almost. 2.8 west of Dale, Arkansas. Wow, guys. Stuff's shaking. Let's close out. Oh, we got a couple down here. That's an aftershock. Laredo, Mexico. There's some distance between them, but both sides of the San Andres Fault. Yeah, that's pretty close to this right here is really up on New Madrid. Oh, look here. This one's got an aftershock too. There's two right here. I'm just going to bear down on this one. The Wandifuka plate is active. So I can't get out the one on the bottom or not. I don't know. I'm going to have to scroll in more to get. There we go. That's a 4.9. And this one's a 4.9. Two 4.9s. Wow, same magnitude. Hey, Joe, how you doing? Hi, Greg. My tummy full now. Well, glad you got a full tummy. That's a good thing. I fasted today myself. I usually do it on Thursday, but I decided to fast today. I might do it again Friday. Costa Rica. 5.5 Cardenas, Nicaragua. I said Costa Rica. I'm wrong. It's Nicaragua. Cardenas. How do I know how to pronounce Cardenas? Because my last boss was named Cardenas. Or is named Cardenas. I guess they just don't. Technically, he's still my supervisor, but they just don't have any work for me. Looky here, Tonga. Homatonga, 5.4. Rodney, close to you. Rodney, what's Rodney said after I read that? Oh, hello to JoJo. All righty. We got one on the border of China over by Xinjiang. Coal, how do you pronounce that? I got no clue. 4.9 West Zizang. Turkey got an earthquake. 4.1. ADAC. Wow. No, it's 60 kilometers southwest of ADAC. Close enough. Colombia. Looks like our friends in Puerto Rico are dancing tonight. Good for them. Puerto Rico's always got earthquakes. Always blaming on the Puerto Ricans dancing, though. All right, space weather. Here, guys, we just had another near miss from an asteroid. Just because they say 0 on here don't mean it's absolutely a hit. That just means it's closer shave than the granularity of what they usually put here. It's less than, I guess, a decimal point, maybe 2 decimal points. But let's confirm that. That's the asteroid right there, 0.04 lunar distances. Yeah, it missed us. But this one was only 2 meters across. Not likely it would have done anything if it hit us. That shows the path right there. The watchers. This is the close approach dates for this thing. Let's go back over here to space weather. We do have some small geomagnetic storms coming. We've got a G1. Well, did have a G1 list on here. Oh, there it is. Yeah. Forecasters say that a G1 class storm is possible today. The sun's got a bunch of spots on, a whole bunch now. Don't look like southern minimum to me. Yeah, we have some big ones up here in 3639. We got a couple of huge groups here, 3643, 3645. It's when you get north and south polar regions that are opposed to each other that these things kick off. 70 movies called. Oh, you've never seen Soviet Green Tracy Broken Wings? Wow. It was the year that was set for was 2022. Yeah, that's a scary movie. It had Carlton Heston, president of the NRA, in it. Well, we don't have no major aurora at the moment, according to this. But Arnold told us the other night when we were showing strong aurora in here that he had a clear sky and didn't see any. So I don't know, guys. I got nothing that's better than somebody on the ground telling you what they see. So we do have storms in Kansas right now. Chewy mentioned some storms a minute ago. It looks pretty intense. We got some in New York, off the coast of New Jersey. Got some snow in Wyoming, northern Colorado. All right, we'll go through all that in a minute. I'm going to stop for a minute and check out the chat room. Then we might, I don't know, we're probably going to go deep into the weather because it's almost 4 a.m. I don't want to be in here all night tonight. I do want to catch, I'm so worried I'm going to go to bed when we end this, and I hope to catch a good long 4 hours sleep tonight. A little bit long for me. I'll probably sleep like a baby. So it just tells you how alarmed I am about everything. I am worried and concerned in general. What I'm not concerned is the idea that everything is going to be in cinders tomorrow morning. If I was, I would be not on the video. I'd be piling tables up on here and putting books and supplies on them and building me up a radiation barrier. You don't see that. Another thing you haven't seen on my channel, I haven't posted the words emergency alert. We've had some tough situations, a lot to be concerned about, but I don't think it's quite at that level yet. Will it be? Very likely. The link I provided is the eruption. Oh, the eruption. Let me go back to my other thing here. I got to play around with some screens to pull that up. Got to move a bunch of things. No, I'm not seeing eruption there. Eerie news. I'm seeing volleyball. Vascosola, I just took that link and clicked on it, and all I'm seeing is volleyball. Hang on a minute. I'm going to post it over here and reshare. Maybe you can tell me what I'm missing. Hang on, we'll hit the share button again. I got to play with my screens. Give me a second, guys. Gotta find the right screen here. I don't have a lot of different monitors. Oh, my video's skipping. So I got to change windows a lot. Oh, it's freezing up. least it is what I'm seeing back here. Maybe internet may be bogged down. How's my memory looking? Oh, no wonder. I picked up my memory. Why? I don't have that much open. All right, it's a memory issue on my side. If I got, I can close. Shouldn't be happening. Anyway, I hit share screen again. Here's the link. You track your message, Alaska Soul. I own Sawyer Green. Yeah, they actually make it now, of all things. You can buy it. It's a drink, Sawyer Green. Oh my gosh. It was away from the movie. It's like, really? You want to come out with something called Sawyer Green before 2022? Still no explosion here. Or eruption. Just sports. Let's hit news. I'm going to get rid of the sports by clicking on news. Well, I probably just overtaxed from memory. Oh, wrong link. Okay. Well, let me stop the share and close a couple of things because I'm freezing up here. See if I can free up some memory. We'll close the earthquake site down. Close the. Well, we didn't look at Fleet Tracker, did we? Well, it looks like it did yesterday or day before yesterday. Don't look any different. I'll close Space Weather down. I'll close Wikipedia down. Yeah, I got to close a few things. I'm just, I see what's the problem. Times of Israel circling. That's probably what's eating my memory up. Let's see if I go back and check. It should be. Yeah, something was writing to my disk. Why was my disk space full? I need to run some antiviral software here tonight. CPU is still running full tilt, 99%, 100%. The regular RAM memory is back down a little bit. Okay, CPU is down. All right, so maybe things will be manageable now. I was afraid I was going to lose my video here, get knocked out. All righty, good. I got a lot of windows open. Indonesia volcano eruption sparks the tsunami fears. Oh, 15 hours ago. Well, if there was a tsunami going to hit, it would have already hit. Those things move 700 miles an hour, typically, about the speed of sound. So if you have a tsunami, you can expect it's going to make in 15 hours. I'll just do the calculation. 15 times 700. It's actually a little better than 700. It would go 10,000 miles. It's halfway around the world. So if you're in a vicinity after 15 hours, if you were going to be hit by a tsunami, it would probably hit you. So that's one of the things that kind of gets me. A lot of people, there's channels on here that posted, lots of channels on YouTube was talking about what they thought was some big strike of something in the South Atlantic. They showed this huge area as big as Texas, just appeared all at once like that. And it moved as a group northward over some long time and then disappeared. And a lot of people said it was an asteroid strike. There's no reports of an asteroid strike. In fact, the asteroids we were monitoring passed by. It would take a ginormous asteroid to make a pool that big. But here's the main thing you need to know. When something, you drop a pebble in a pond, it radiates out in ripples. Same things happen with tsunamis. They follow the same physics, just on a larger scale. The same physics. If you see something like it happen, now, they might not be ready on the surface. If it strikes obliquely at an angle, yeah, you can expect a splash effect. You can expect to have a little different geometry, but still, it's going to propagate. It's not going to move as a unit altogether and cross the, maybe move a little bit around the ocean. It's not going to do that. It's not going to stay in one place. And you got something that big, it would be hitting Rio de Janeiro and you know, cities up and down the South America and all over Africa. It'd be huge tsunamis if you had something that big. And we saw there was a picture posted of something in South Africa. That could have, I don't know when that picture was from. A lot of people post pictures, and I've seen other websites bust someone to go back and look at the, you know, the metadata on them and go, oh, you know, somebody claims it was a laser strike and it turned out to be a launch of a rocket, you know, different things like that. You see that kind of stuff a lot of times. People will see something and somebody will attribute something else, and somebody else will grab it and run with it, and it's all over the internet. So you got to take things with a shaker of salt, maybe a whole box of salt sometimes. It did freak me out a little because my cousin and my mom do not associate, and they tell me about it the very same day. We're talking about what I'm talking about. I'm going to go back to the chat here. So just remember, things follow physics. They don't just jump around and, you know, but a lot of these, you know, YouTube creators, they don't know physics, you know, so they'll see something and they'll post it and they'll be concerned about it. But we do have software anomalies a lot of times. You know, some of the recent outages we had with the phone system was due to AT&T. They claim that was software outages. Now, maybe they got hacked and just didn't want to admit it. You know, these companies typically don't want to admit a security issue if they get hacked. That's true. And, you know, that could be what's happened here with the 911 centers. Now, I would expect if the Iranian Revolutionary Guard was going to activate their sleeper cells, there would be some hacks occur before that. And 911 centers would likely be hit. But I don't think they'd do it in just 2 or 3 states or 6 states or 9 states. It would be bigger than that, I would imagine. Unless maybe their hacking attacks failed in some degree. But Lord knows, they got their hacking software in the middle of everything. Iranians, the South Koreans, the Chinese, the Russians, they've all got our systems here massively hacked. And that's what's been breaking, even our defense systems, our DOD. Even inside the firewalls are finding massive, massive hacks in the software. So these are just things. She dropped out of Facebook 16 minutes ago. Hope she's okay. She was in the middle of cooking, preparing food last time I heard. So it's like she's expecting to be up all night. Of course, it is almost all night. It's 5 a.m. over there on the East Coast. So let me go through the chat room. That is a good link. Okay, I hope I got memory resources here. I nearly crashed a minute ago. This chat room on this computer is not up to date. It's not even updating. Why is that? I don't know. It's frozen. Well, whatever it is, I don't like I'm gonna be able to post it here. So anybody's free to click on this link and see what's in there. So yeah, you get a volcano going off, you are going to get an alert. Yeah, this is just running behind. It hadn't caught up to your link there, Shaggy. It's not caught up your link. So anyway, let me go through the chat room here. I could open it up on this computer, but I can't share it with you guys. Oh, what's happened now? This chat room is freezing. There it is. I will click it. It'll open up another window on this computer. I got it over here. Social expats showing a major volcanic eruption. Oh, Mount Wrong. Since volcanic ash as high as 3,000 meters. This might be the one I saw a report on this earlier, actually. That's a pretty big eruption. Well, you know what? You get enough volcanic stuff go high enough in the atmosphere, like Mount Pinatubo, that causes the global temperature to drop a degree or two there for a year or two. We could probably use a little cooling off. And we're just coming out of El Nino. And we're at a solar maximum. All things that contribute to being in a hotter spot, by the way. Solar maximum, we're getting close to that. El Ninos, all these things contribute to things getting a little warmer than usual. Lord Jalen read test message again. Can you see it? I see that, Lord. You gotta remember, I'm scrolling through and my messages are doing weird things. Let me go to the top. I'm gonna go to the top of the message as far north as I can go in them. The first one I'm seeing is not the first message posted, so it's cut me off a little bit. Cowgirl in Arizona is breathing. That's good to know. Hopefully we'll all be breathing still a few days from now when I come back. Nanny Anderson, hi, Greg. Cuban nurse prepper, hi. Alpha Omega Survival Supply. He's probably got a good website. I bet he's got a good channel and sells stuff for prepping, maybe. First, a thumbs up. Thank you, Alaska Soul. The EMs are crazy. That's true. That is a true statement. But I don't know that they're at a point I would panic over. Nor would I panic necessarily on all the aircraft movement right now, because we've seen lots of crazy aircraft movement here over the last few months. Fallout future. Yet. Hectic day with EAMs, yes. Code's been broadcast. Okay, Cuban nurse prepper. There are codes being broadcast. That's what they send out on EAMs. Everything sent out on an EAM is a code. You cannot decode the EAM. Yeah, there's nothing. People talk about what DEFCON we're at. That's classified. And even when we're talking about where the bases are, code Bravo, Charlie, you already got to verify that. That's not easily verified. What we know is that the EAMs work like this. You will not ever be able to decode an EAM. The reason for that is the EAM is a message that tells the recipient what to look up. It's like an index card. It tells them what book to go to in the library. Maybe which page to turn to. You don't know what's in that book. You don't know what's on that page. So even if you could decode the message, which is read out over the air, you wouldn't know what's in that book. You're not going to know. And even the higher level, King Master, Sky Master, the big, doomsday planes, well, they've got to issue these from time to time themselves as part of keeping their system sharp. There will be times they'll issue those. And if they wanted to hit later, they might want to do something now, just so that when they do decide to hit, the folks down the road, they're just doing this. This is what they've been doing all along. And maybe that's part of what all this is. This could be deception. Just get people excited, get them a little off edge. And you do this enough times when you really mean something, they go, no big deal. Kind of like I'm doing today, this morning. But, if we were really going, if the United States had decided to go in with Israel and do a big hit on Iran, which kind of goes against everything I've been seeing out of the current administration, which has shoved a lot of money into Iran and begged them to agree to the Joint Comprehensive Plan Agreement, the JPAW, however you pronounce that, that treaty for Iran not to do nuclear development, which is probably already water under the bridge, which you're still trying to negotiate with, get Iran to step the table for. So even if we were going to hit them, yeah, we might do something like this. We might, we're pulling back. You've agreed not to hit them. You might see press pieces like that. That's true. But you expect to see certain other buildup, certain things happen. So, and maybe it will. I won't say it won't happen. It's just, I'm not expecting it in the morning. I could be wrong. There's always, you got a bell curve in probability, where most of your probability is right here, but there are things that happen, what you call 6 signals out, 6 standard deviations away from the peak of the bell curve on the trailing edges. There's still some meat under that trailing edge. Things can happen, but I don't think it's under the top of the bell right now. Anyway, so let me read on through the chat here. David, I had a heads up from New Days on the video coming out. All right, very good. During this week. Yeah, FileMaster, that's funny. Greg, isn't there military drills going on? There are, we have NATO real heavy in military drills right now. The Steadfast Defender is still in progress. Now, NATO is, I agree, NATO's not, that's NATO. NORAD's not part of that directly, but they could support it. So we don't know what they will or will not be supporting, or they may, or what might be going on there. The day after it was, it's psychological warfare looking back years ago? Maybe. I need one more lithium iron phosphate battery. There you go. Those are the good ones. Not lithium ion, lithium iron phosphate. LiFePO 4. Maybe because Civil War made in 1997 was made where there was immigration people caused the Civil War. Well, what I've been talking to you guys about, I've been talking about Cloward and Piven, what they wrote back in 1964, calling for a situation that we're facing all over the country today. Kushner's still over there negotiating with Saudis and Israel. Yeah, if it was going down, Kushner would be getting his yeehaw out of ha-ha, or getting his ha-ha out of yeehaw. He ain't gonna stick around when the birdies start flying, I don't think. David, be glad I'm not your president. I would have turned it into a sheet of glass already. Israel and Iran are the sand of the hourglass. Sad part is it will be turned to glass once the bombs fall. At least on the surface it will. I'd have been having trouble watching your. Yeah, Alaska. So that's kind of where I'm at. You get so many emergency alerts and everything was going right this instant and the whole world is burning up instantly. To me, it's a little bit like crying wolf. Now, I can't say I don't understand that, but I don't think we're quite there yet. I think maybe he's over-interpreting some things. Possibly. That's my take on it. So that's why I'm not panicked. You don't see me going, I didn't put a title on my video today called Emergency Alert. I called it Calm Before the Storm. Now, I don't know how long that calm is going to last. It could end in 2 seconds, but I kind of think probably not. Probably not. Now, if you see my studio being blasted away, then I was wrong. But if I thought I was wrong, I wouldn't be sitting there doing a video. I'd be piling tables up between these desks and piling books on them and getting my supplies, all the water and everything down here and hunkering down for a couple of weeks. Hezbollah tried the S-400s on the Israel S-35s and couldn't hit nothing. Now, there's two possibilities there. There's two possibilities. One, those S-400s aren't what they're advertised to be. Or two, maybe they just didn't know how to use them. It takes a lot of training for troops to really know how to use these sophisticated weapon systems. No umph in his voice. Okay, Alaska Soul. Who is going to take the third spot? Third spot on what there, Lord? Yeah, what Rodney was telling us is that affiliation is over, apparently. Yeah. Well, maybe I should feel sorry for NY Prepper because he may be under adverse conditions now. That's what happens. I mean, that's something that's anybody that's got a soul to them is probably going to wind up in that position over time and take a lot of heat. So maybe I should call him up and offer my condolences to him. Been there. So, oops, I just, trying to read a comment. I just blew me right past it. I gotta scroll back up and find it. I hate it when my screen just jumps on me. Something Jason said. The drama between channels is crazy. I try not to get into it, guys. I really do. I just wish these channel creators would be on the same page. These YouTubers here try to help people. Yeah, that would be a lot better. It'd be a lot better if it weren't all. That's the way it ought to be. That's the way it ought to be. I'll reach out to Greg. I ain't got no problem with that. Over at New York Prepper. I just think he got a little excited. And given the times we're in, I don't blame him. I'm just not buying it. That's all. Not quite. There's things to be concerned about. Yeah, I agree with that. And I'm not saying he's wrong. I just feel like maybe he's a little bit over interpreting things. But given the situation we're in, yeah, I can see it. So I'm not trying to bash him. That's not my intention here. It's just that my message is that I'm not expecting it just yet. Not for the church of modern days, but also know these churches need to help people more than they do. Big churches, you will find, nice cars. Yes, some of those big ministers got gold-plated faucets in their bathroom. It's like, really? The only thing I'm a bit worried about is my surgeon in Boston said he wants me. Yeah, New Days has got to go back in, unfortunately. So we need to pray for her and get a chance. There was a major 911 emergency number of outages. Yeah, I mentioned that, Ace Lee. I actually showed a link covering that. Ukraine won't give in, Greg. They know what Russia's like. Yeah, they do. They do. They will fight hard. I believe that. Nobody that's been under Russian rule wants to be under Russian rule, except for east of the Donbass area. They kind of identify with Russia. So let them go. What I'm saying is we need a peace treaty right now. That's my point. We need to stop the fighting and get a peace treaty. If we don't stop the fighting, the Russian forces, they're going to take more and more. They'll take stuff that isn't areas that wanted to be part of it. And it's going to be rough for Ukraine, very rough. Why should the Ukrainians have to go through that? 32 in West Volkistan, Northwest Volkistan, huh, Chewy? Yeah, let's just make a top one civilization too, Jason. But we ain't going to make it if we wipe ourselves out here in the next year, a few months from now. All that's possible. And it's crazy. We're on the cusp of so many good breakthroughs. Life extension, just a lot of good technology and knowledge is coming to fruition. We need to cut this mess out. Yeah, don't tell me what's going on in the Cuban Missile Crisis there, Jason. The biggest volcanic explosion of the year. VEI, that's the index. What VEI was that? That is like Richter scale for volcanoes. Like a 7's a huge. Pinatubo might have been a 7. Yeah, like Jellystone Park, that would be a 8 by comparison. Germany arresting 2 Russian spies surveilling U.S. bases in Germany. Well, that don't surprise me. Sorry, guys, short and sweet tonight dinner. All right, hope you're having a good dinner. We got 79 in the room. Not bad for this late start we had. We grow meat here in Singapore. Very good. You don't have a lot of room in Singapore to be growing meat, but if you can pull that off, that's awesome. We used to grow meat in USA. It was called buffaloes. Oh, yeah. Like I said, we ought to give the environmentalist of the Millennium Award to Wild Bill if cattle are bad. If cattle are bad for the environment, like they always tell us, we should give the environmentalists of the Millennium War to Wild Bill Cody for taking out all those infernal buffalo. He obviously saved the entire universe. Yes, don't take that literal, please. I'm being facetious. Took a 6-hour nap. Looks like New Days is still in here, unless my scrolling's off. On a roll. Okay, she's busy. I told you she's cooking stuff. Brinkmanship with nuclear armed nations is the 2 cars headed for a cliff saying rebel without a cause. I hadn't seen that, but yeah, brinkmanship with any nuclear nation is cuckoo, cuckoo. Yeah, it's nuts. It's nuts. The Great Filter. Oh my gosh. Did I mention that on a recent Galactic Grids video? I've actually planned to do a video on that. I am planning to talk about the Great Filter. We may be headed right for it. I want to talk about that just a minute here since you brought it up. Ask us so alert. I'll be doing a voice chat on Discord. Very good. Come and join us if you want to talk. Get notified when Greg goes live. All right, very good, very good. Thank you for that, Alaska Soul. So I did a video on Galactic Greg's talking about, I just got one on warp drive and fusion, a little discussion about anti-gravity I posted on Galactic Greg's. And it's doing pretty well for that channel. It don't get as many views as some other channels. You might want to watch that one. I did a video. I just posted a video on Green Greg's earlier today that's not getting that many views, which it should. It's talking about why seeds will be more valuable than gold. It should get more views than any of the other videos. But, if I post anything that even smacks of gardening, it's actually a prepping video, wasn't a gardening video. It gets low views. Everybody says, Greg, you need to do gardening videos. You need to do more worm videos. And I put those videos out today. They fail. And it messes up the algorithms. And not only that, people unsubscribe. And it's crazy. Because everybody wants to hear war news. Well, I'm not reporting war news over there anymore. Not so much, not directly. I may talk indirect stuff. Like I've got a video I've uploaded. I will post it tomorrow talking about, but see, it's not direct combat. So I think I can pass it through YouTube and not get any problems. Because I'm talking about just it's strategy, military strategy, why I'm not expecting Iran to close the Strait of Hormuz, at least completely. And why I'm thinking the U.S. may actually do it, at least partially. Oh, yeah. You got to watch that video. It's nobody else on YouTube is talking that. Nobody else on YouTube. It's not in any news article that I've ever seen. And I do surveil about 300 news articles a day just to bring you guys what I bring you. So I consume a lot of news. And I've also got, look, I got a friend that's an ambassador. I got a friend that's a general. I got lots of colonels that are friends of mine. I do get input. I got a general just sent me a friend request on Facebook. Most of those accounts are fake, but I think that one's real. But I don't count him as a friend because I don't really know him. But the one that I mentioned earlier that I've had on my channel here a few times or on Green Greg's is a personal friend. So, so let's talk about the Great Filter a minute. Yeah. I did a video on Galactic Greg's and said UFOs are not from space. They're not out there. One of the main reasons is you look up in the sky. Now, the dark forest theory might be an exception to it. It might make it a little different. That's a whole other theory. But when you look up the sky, you do not see Dyson spheres. Oh, yeah. I've met Freeman Dyson. He came up with that concept. Nice man, smart man, but a really good man. Top-notch physicist. He headed up the Orion program that was testing using nuclear bombs to launch a spacecraft. They wanted to build a spaceship as big as a aircraft carrier, big, heavy spaceship. They could have done it with nuclear bombs, but it would have kind of messed the environment up. So we don't see it. We haven't seen anything with all our astronomical means, all our radio telescopes, optical telescopes, space telescopes, all the astronomers around the world are looking intently and listening intently. We've seen things that were interesting, maybe suggestive, but we've not seen anything conclusive that says that there's somebody with a technological civilization operating up there. Nada. Things you see here on Earth, flying around does not mean they're up there. Everybody says, oh, it's aliens. Well, just if you see something that's got propulsion that's beyond your technology, it does not mean it's aliens. You jump in the gun when you say that. That may be what the DOD report is always saying. They didn't say those stuff wasn't out there. They just said it wasn't extraterrestrial aliens. Maybe they were right. Maybe not. I don't know. So one of the big theories is the Great Filter. The Great Filter idea is that no civilization survives to the point of being able to develop space because it wipes itself out before it gets there. We're on the very cusp with Elon Musk's Starship to actually develop in space. Now, first few missions on Mars isn't going to do it. I'm talking about 2030. It'll probably be a few years past that now. It takes enough that you can put on another world or orbit all the resources for a civilization to run itself by itself without relying like on chips or various things being supplied from home planet Earth. It's going to take a little bit to build all the agricultural, all the Silicon Valley, everything you need in orbit. And nanotechnology might get you there sooner, but nanotechnology may also wipe us out sooner. The Great Filter says we wipe ourselves out before we get there. That's what all the other civilizations have done. If we keep heading the direction we're going, we're not likely to make it to 2030 as a technical civilization. Don't mean we'll be entirely extinct, but if we wipe out the technology we have today, how do we get built? How did our civilization started? At first, we had ores, iron ores and copper ores just sitting around on the surface of the earth. You'd stick a stick in the ground and you could get oil. Now we go out way out in the sea where the ocean's 2 miles or 3 miles deep, and we drill down another 2 or 3 miles in the crust of Earth with highly sophisticated systems. If all this stuff breaks down, it's gone. You're going to be living in a medieval world for the rest of Earth history. You might survive until the sun takes you out or some asteroid or some bug. But what I worry about is one of the reasons I did that video called A Nuke in Every Pot is the biological technologies that are available around the world could lead us into the scenario that Sir Martin Rees taught us about here 20 years ago when he wrote this book. It's more true today than it was then. And when I was in a garage building rockets, launching them to altitudes that just 40 years earlier took a superpower to accomplish, it dawned on me then. The proliferation of technology was going to lead us to the point where small groups could develop weapons that could take out humanity. Thousands of small groups all over the world. All it takes is some small group, maybe even a lone individual who hates the world, or they hate these guys, and these guys hate these guys. Pretty soon you get an escalation. We cannot survive as a species with the hatreds that exist in the world today. How do you get rid of those hatreds before the weapons get to that point? We got some work to do, and we got to get about it if we're going to hope to pass the Great Filter. The Great Filter is we wipe ourselves out before we can get there. We are close to being there, but we're also really close to wiping ourselves out. Will we make it? Will we survive as a species? Will there be any humans left? If there are, if the civilization we have today crashes, it's not coming back. Not as we know it. You might be lucky to have a Roman Empire or some medieval culture. Yeah, everybody says we've knocked back to the 1800s. 1800s had industry, trains, steel mills. Nah. But they also had coal and metal they could pick up off the surface of the ground and make that stuff. You're going back further than that. You're probably going to the Stone Age. So, Dr. Jensen House, good to see you. That's what I'm saying, guys. It's not going to be pretty. That's why I chaired 2 power grid defense conferences. I realized the danger also inherent in the spent fuel rod pulls at our nuke plants. That's when I knew just regular prepping was not enough. An ounce of prevention beats a gallon of cure, as Louis Pasteur tried to tell us. I think we need to take that to heart. And the heart is where you got to come from if you want to preserve our civilization. Oh, Carla Jan thought she missed me. I just see her message here. Well, we're here. Glad you're here. Elon's trying for 360 TPQ re 303. I don't know what that is. Anyway, so 360. Just, you know, how you doing? Jason, I always believe we should have colonized the bottom of the sea before space. I think, well, actually, it may be harder to do because the pressure differentials are far higher. Sun one atmosphere difference between the Earth's surface and space. Now, it's harder to get to space in some ways. Oh, Elon's R3 rocket is at 303. Yeah, he's making progress, and let's hope he gets there. Let's hope he gets us up there. You know, maybe we should have had some woo-woo technology by now. I'm going to check PayPal, see if anybody has used the link provided by Kim Possible. Ah, very good. We do have a donation. Thank you, Kim. Salute to Kim. $10 donation through the link that New Day's provided, but Kim's already had that link. She's used it before. She made a donation there last time we were on here live a couple nights ago, and the time before that too. So she's a regular. Appreciate that, Kim. Salute to you. Thank you. Just Mike, sure help explain the extreme precision and scope of ancient architecture, the great filter. This ain't the first time humans are advanced. Different stuff, maybe. They did build with precision. But it's also possible to build with precision with stuff without electronics. It's possible. Or without lasers. It's been able to measure and have a really good cutting tools. So how far we've been? Has civilization been here before? Do the dinosaurs have civilization? Maybe. But don't expect anything in your lifetime. If this goes down, guys, maybe never. Not if we try to build a civilization where we built this one. If you can get a hold of some woo-woo technology and develop it without being impeded, but that may also bring you to the great filter. And maybe if there were other civilizations here, maybe they hit their own great filters. Because we're sure not here today with that level, whatever they had. Man, he's getting dumber. Yeah, kind of looks like that Tracy Broken Wings. So it's basically adding wet fuel and sound wave pulse engine. Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah. We got some interesting also rotary rockets are developing for hypersonics. Elon's trying to go to space by making rockets as cheap as you can make them. Big rockets. And he's doing a really good job at it. There's other approaches for using flight vehicles, like airplanes. If you can come up with hypersonic engines, what was a popular concept decades ago was that one day we might develop a scramjet engine that would take us most of the way there. It looks like this rotary rocket engine will do it without scramjet. Combine it with scramjet technology. But yeah, they built Saturn V with slide rulers. Amen. Slide rulers. The electronics were primitive compared to what we have today. They just invented the integrated circuit chip. They had, you got more power on a Timex watch today than the Saturn V had in terms of computing power. It almost cost us the Apollo 11 landing, by the way, because they wasn't figuring on when they did the throughput for running the computer on the lander. They wasn't figuring that you'd be running the landing radar and the ascent radar at the same time, and it overpowered the computer. It couldn't handle it. It almost caused them a major problem. But fortunately, they got out of it. They survived it. So, the V2 rocket was able to hit London from Europe. They didn't have any integrated electronics back in the time. It was very simple electrical systems they used for guidance, navigation, and control. They did have gyroscopes. But you know, it's amazing what you can accomplish with low technology if you put your mind to it. I'm not going to say high technology didn't exist, but it was probably far different what we use today if it did. Elon read the 1950 space novel about building 1,000 cheap metal rockets to go to Mars and escape the catastrophe. Did he read the one that von Braun wrote that had a character named Elon in it? Just got to wonder, huh? He was the master of Mars. Yeah, isn't that interesting? Hello, I'm sorry I was AFK from, I don't know what AFK stands for, but anyway. V2 was the first thing from the current civilization to touch space. It was. I personally knew the guys who developed it. So I never met von Braun, but I met most of his team. And, you know, those guys are all gone now. So I'm a kind of a bridge generation. I'm a bridge between that era and the era of Musk. I met Musk too, talked to him a couple times. So I'm kind of a bridge generation. My mentors were Saturn V rocket developers. They were my mentors in my career. And some of the V2 guys like Conrad Dannenberg. Yeah, he would tell me a lot of stuff. I learned some good lessons from Conrad. So I got to count them too as among my mentors. The V2 rocket team and the Saturn V, American Saturn V followers of those guys. So yeah, that's the guys that taught me a lot of the ins and outs of engineering and rocketry and propulsion and things to worry about and what not to worry about from all the years of practical experience they had. And then I went on to develop my own rockets. And that was a real teacher. When you do your own, you learn stuff really fast. No book, get past the book learning, guys. Get past the book learning and do it for real. Do it yourself. Just like my laptop table here, which is a Cat's Prize rocket motor core for a hybrid rocket. This is the daddy of the Spaceship One engine, which is the granddaddy of the Spaceship Two Virgin Galactic spaceplane rocket engine right here. And I got the DCX rocket in my backyard. Now, what other YouTuber, Space Channel or any, got that kind of stuff of their experience? Space Pioneer Award. And you can look it up on there. Go to Wikipedia and look up Space Pioneer Award. You'll find my name. It's the only place on Wikipedia you'll find my name. If you look up my name and the word space, or my name and the word rocket, you'll find a number of articles. Not as many as it used to be, because that stuff was 20, 25 years ago. A lot of those articles and websites are gone now. But there's still a fair bit. So, David Potter, must be some really good steel in that pen. Not the pen stabs per. Oh. Just Mike says, how do we go from making awesome structures from stone to building everything out of sticks? 3 little pigs in reverse, maybe. Yeah, if you come back to Earth 10,000 years from now, there's not going to be much sign that we ever existed. They'll find the nubs of the Great Pyramid. Oh, they'll find the pyramids. Whatever's left of the Sphinx may be older than that. So they'll find the Great Pyramids, what's left of them after erosion. If the climate don't change and dump tons of rain there, there'll be something left. But the stuff we're building today, no, it'll all be rusted and rotted and washed away, buried over in sediments. If you dig in the sediments, you might find some odd looking, well, even the concrete we built don't last. Romans had good lasting concrete, but we don't. So that has something to do when people live 900 years. Well, no, that would definitely carry a lot of memory forward on how to do things if you live 900 years. Well, the funny thing is, we're on the cusp of developing technology to extend our lives, maybe the quality of our lives for longer. I think we'd all be bored if we lived forever in this life. You'd be bored out of your skull. But, you know, to have a little bit more time to do things, it's like I'm just growing up now. I'm just getting where it's interesting to do things, and already I'm breaking down. That's kind of cruel. So, all right, guys, we're going long enough. It's late. It's almost 4:30 a.m. I want to make a sugar rocket. Okay, Tracy. That'd be fun stuff. Be careful with that. They can go boom too. So thank y'all for asking to smash the like button. So, all right. I don't want to underplay. We are in very grave times right now. We may be heading for that great filter, which may put us in a case of non-existence or reduced existence. We lose 9/10 of our population or more due to grid down. It's not going to be pretty for anybody. Tommy, how you doing? Think it's 30,000, David? I couldn't dispute it. It's definitely, it looks, there's a lot of indications that it's older than what to tell us. Should be. Lots of interesting indications. Of course, you know, that's an area that typically don't see a whole lot of rainfall. Structure like that put in Alabama probably wouldn't last that long. But it's interesting. Great pyramids are huge. It take a long time to erode them down, but even mountains erode down. Eventually erode away entirely. The Appalachian Mountains today was once a mountain chain they think mightier than Mount Everest. The Himalayas 3 times over bigger. You're right, Jason. Prepare accordingly. That's what I tell you guys. Don't be scared. Be prepared. Keep your eyes open so you know when you need to duck. And it could be coming soon. I don't think it's this morning. So far, it's 4:33 and we're still here. I don't hear any loud booms outside. So I could check my little news service here. See if there's things in the sky flying with re-entry vehicles. And now, if there's an emergency alert, you get it over your phone, by the way, just like that practice session. If they're going to tell you to duck your head between your knees and kiss your yeehaw goodbye, you got that message. Time you get that message, it's probably too late, though. Interesting stuff, but nothing that's scaring me to death. Nothing here to put me in a state of fright. So with that, it might be time to say good night. Solar maximum coming this summer. That's kind of what I expect. Hey, Michelle, how you doing? Good to see ya. So yeah, I would expect solar maximum might do it to us. It don't take people. Mother Nature could put us past the great filter. Mother Nature could do it. Many ways Mother Nature could do that. Civilization is fragile, very fragile. This is one reason we need some redundancy, not have all our rocks or all our eggs in the same basket. Get off this third rock. That's the ultimate prep for the survival and continuation of civilization, of humanity. Eventually, we ought to even get out of our star system. We just discovered the biggest black hole we've seen in the galaxy is only 1,000 light years away. That's pretty close. Anyways, I had to leave Mobile to write good, but good night, everyone. Take care. Well, thank you for that. I'm working on my bookmarks. Okay, Tracy. Anybody see Stray Kitten? She been in the house tonight? Michelle Young. Salute Michelle Young. She sent a super chat to me through the website link that she just posted. Both her and Kim Possible tonight. Thank you very much. Salute to you both. Appreciate that. I'll post all greatest links in general chat for all mods. Okay, thank you. So I think we need to go. We've been in here for 94 minutes. One heavy blast in the sun. We're back to horses. That's right, Jason. That's right. And you may not even have metal to make the bits unless you got to get the blacksmith around and bend up the metal that's already laying around everywhere. And we'll be able to live off the bones and dregs of our civilization for a while, digging things up, repurposing them, reshaping them. Blacksmithing will be a very important skill. I do have a blacksmith's forge, blowers and anvils. I'll take them with me to Arizona if I can. If I can pull it off. The only way to leave Earth is to tunnel. Well, you might need some tunnels real soon with all the stuff going on. So, hey, Brian, where you been, buddy? Good morning to you. All right. So, Brian's a big supporter of the channel. We appreciate him. Lots calm. You wrote clam. You meant calm. So we may be in a calm before the storm. I'm expecting things to escalate, but maybe not as fast as some people are insinuating right now. There's a lot of people that's been panicked a bit over the past few hours by some of the other things posted. And I'm just letting you guys know that I'm not panicked over these things, but I do want you guys to, of course, I tell you never panic. But do keep your eyes wide open and head on a swivel. Supposed to become well, and a lot of times, you know, especially if you're in the eye wall, but then inside the eye wall, it's going to be calm. That means you've already had one phase pass over. We could be in for a big storm. It may be coming. We may be in that lull right now. Is it going to come? Hard to say. But there are some indications that there's forces at play that's trying to make it not ramp up too fast. Maybe they got some agendas they want to accomplish. Maybe it's coming a little too fast, too hot for them. I don't know. Clams are good with Tabasco sauce. Amen. Amen, Jason. I like raw oysters. It's the only meat I'll eat raw is oysters with lots of horseradish. I recommend everything considering canned meats in the freezer just in case we're making room for summer crop harvest. That's what she's been doing tonight. Taking her meats and canning them. Make room in her freezer. Good move. Bunkered here. Being bunkered is always a good thing. Elon has that covered with the Boring Company. He's a smart camper. Look, his electric cars will be great on Mars. You don't have any oxygen in the atmosphere. His satellite Starlink will serve communications. The Boring Company will build tunnels they'll need on Mars. We could use them on Earth too. So Elon's getting it covered. Elon's a smart man. He's a smart cookie. I met him a couple times, talked to him some. So I was actually there at the Air and Space Museum in Washington, D.C. when he rolled out his first rocket. His what would they call it? It was what do you call it back in the Falcon? Whatever it was, the very first one he had before he flew it. I remember walking around, looking at the engines and looking at the wire and thought, man, that's a rat's nest. So you flying this thing and recovering this booster. But they did a lot of work on it after that. That was kind of not quite the flight version. Horseradish and oysters is my favorite. There you go, X-Dragon. That's some good eating. A little cocktail sauce. But the horseradish is a must. At least have some good horseradish. And if I eat shrimp, I get the cocktail sauce. It's heavy in horseradish. Maybe I get some more horseradish and mix it in. I love horseradish. And if you love horseradish, you'll like radish microgreens, by the way. Check out my old videos on green graves about how to grow microgreens. On Titan, they can have boats powered by methane. Boats powered by methane. There's plenty of methane there. Who's the Satanist? Tracy. Think Elon's a Satanist? I don't know. I hope not. At least he seems to be siding more with the conservatives than a lot of other folks. So I don't know. Space Girl, how you doing? Hello to you. My doctor surgeon who says he's taking a few months off doesn't want to be in Boston in July or August. Yeah, He's expecting this to hit the fan time. There's a point. You need to get out of the big cities, guys. If you're in a big city, you better be thinking about it. You should see what they're doing in Las Vegas. What are they doing in Las Vegas, Tracy? Gravity be 2.5 times as much. Where? It is on Jupiter. If you're in the upper atmosphere of Jupiter, if you got a sky station, you just have to get some strong legs. All right, Jason's. What's going on in Vegas, Jason? Tracy? What are they doing? Raw fresh oysters with a dab of cocktail sauce. Yeah, maybe put it on a cracker. Maybe. No, it's gone. Oh my God. John. No, Mars is the other one. It's 1/3 gravity, David. It's 1/3 gravity, not 2.5 times. Mars is a smaller planet. It's 1/3 gravity. The moon is 1/6 gravity. It may be too little. There may be huge physiological problems we'll develop on Mars. We may not be able to live on Mars. I prefer the O'Neillian rotating space habitats. What's Arthur? What's his name? He does a lot of shows on that. I can't remember his last name right now. Arthur. He's got a big YouTube channel. He shows these a lot, but I've been a proponent of that from way back. The O'Neillian facilities. I met Gerard K. O'Neill in 1981 at University of Alaska Fairbanks. Saw the best auroras I ever saw in my life that night when I got back. Military not granting leave right now through midsummer. Well, you know, they're calling back. They're calling back a lot of retirees right now, or on the verge of it. Even Colonel Cole got a letter. He hasn't been activated or called back, but he got a notice to be prepared for that. Yeah, I think John's just poking fun. Oh, he's creating a tunnel system under Vegas. Oh, that's what's going on. Isaac Arthur. You're right, Jason. Isaac Arthur. That's what I'm trying to say. I think he's now president of the National Space Society. But good for him. Good for him. I like his channel. Huge tunnels. Well, you may have a shot at surviving if you're in Vegas, if you can get to those tunnels. If you can get in those things. You may have to have a ticket to get them. You got a ticket. Go talk to Elon. Make buddies with him. Maybe he's figured out he can't get to Mars fast enough. You like my hat? Well, thank you, Zero. It's a Space Force emblem on my hat. Came from my buddy Ed Kiker that I interviewed once on Green Greg's. I met him in 1981 at Fort Greely, Alaska. Geologist. Aveston. Inject number 2. I don't know what that is, Brian. Isaac Sachs. Yeah, he's got a speech impediment. Isaac Arthur has a speech impediment. So once you get over that, he is a really incredibly bright man. But he does have a speech impediment. Looks like an Aussie hat. I used to have one that was buttoned up on one side. I put a big buzzard feather in it. Used to wear it around everywhere. All right, folks. We are a family channel. We don't use any, I don't know what somebody's saying. Keep the comments clean. Yeah, YouTube, I do have it set. If you say certain wordy dirts, YouTube will take it out. This is a family channel. And mods take care of the rest. We are a family channel and we want to keep our talk clean. So we no cursing. So anyway, folks, it's late. We've been here for a long time. And it takes me an hour or two to actually crawl in a sack after I do one of these because I got several things to do. I don't see them, CDD, whatever it was. All I saw was your other comment saying that your YouTube was taking your comments. And here's something else for you guys to know. For some reason, my server is slower than most of yours. My mods see things way before I see them. They'll dispatch a comment or something long before I know it's happened. Just word for y'all to know that. First aid, heirloom seeds, water filtration, nugs and kibbles. Amen. Here we go, guys. Here we go. Y'all got to see this. I've shown it once or twice before. Here's your before you leave home checklist. Keys, wallet, cell phone, knife, other knife, third knife, gun, backup gun, and spare mags. I wish Rodney was in the house. That's what he sent me. He sent me all them. I have to show this again when Rodney's in the house. And of course, guys, just remember, if you're a snowflake, you might not be able to handle the content of this channel. I should put that up first, right? And for those that subscribe to the idea you might fall off the edge of the earth. But a word of caution. Come around Green Greg's and Swivel Head News. Caution, wormholes. We got lots of wormholes around here. All right. I think in my case now, there is sometimes a delay you guys are getting. There's a delay of what people say when it gets posted, but I shouldn't be sending a delay over here. Not as much as I do. Like I said, the mods see stuff Friday. We should be on the same footing. I try not to block people. I know you feel how you feel. Yeah, we need to. We're for freedom of speech as long as we keep it clean. Okay. I do ask people to be civil. Don't be in here attacking each other. And I'm not in here to attack other channels either. Kind of frown on that. But if people ask me a certain question, or if some channels putting things out there that are panicking people, I might talk about it a little bit. Not in this case to disparage. We did talk a little bit about New York Pepper. I'm not in here to disparage the guy. I think he's a good guy. I actually think he's a good guy. I just think he's a little panicked. And I can understand that given what's going on in the world today and all that. There's been very heavy EAMs. Yes, sir. There are airplanes that are flying, nuke-capable planes that's got nuke-capable missiles on them. It's not the first time. So things could get interesting. Keep your eyes wide open, head on a swivel. I'm just giving the context of everything where it is right now, that would happen like this morning. I'm not expecting it. I'm not expecting it. Blackout curtains so no one knows you got lights. Oh, yeah, John. They know you got lights that come knocking on your door. I was what, Shaggy? Greg was what? Oh, we're not talking in New Days about falling off the earth, was I? I said she was busy. Maybe she left us earlier when she was out of the room or not responding. I was surprised that she wasn't responding, but she's busy cooking tonight and canning, not cooking. Yeah, well, they've been off the charts, Jason. I'll admit that. But just keep your eyes wide open, head on a swivel, guys. That's all I got to say about it. Yeah, 101 in the room. Wow, we picked up. So, folks, go back and catch it on the rewind. We got a lot of people that's just joined us. Go back and catch it on the rewind. And in the beginning, I kind of explained a lot of the stuff that's going on and why I'm not panicked. Of course, I never panic, even if there were coming out. So it'd be get your business done, get it done quick. But keep your head on your shoulder. Yeah, Jason, I know. I'm so scared of that. Wow. Yeah, I can definitely explain why that's not happening and hasn't happened. So there's a lot, and I get all these people coming in my chat room, or not in my chat room so much, but in messages after posting. Oh, you're just a fear monger. Oh my gosh, you just monger fear to sell junk. One, I don't make any money on the stuff I'm promoting. Very little. Very, 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 very little. I think the most I got in the last month was $40. What am I doing with that? So I don't know, I'm getting anything coming this time. So, like that solar thing I showed, for some people that makes sense, especially when we're living out of a van or you want power, to do you for a little while. Anyway, I bought some black blankets to cover the windows. Good move. Good move, Colorado Jen. Have oil lamps out the wazoo. If you look right there, I believe where my finger's pointing, that's an oil lamp. Oh, I got a bunch of them. Keep your head, a prepper's golden rule. Exactly, John. Exactly. How many times I've heard other YouTubers and other prepping channels say, don't panic now. I'll tell you when to panic. You never hear me say that. I just tell you don't panic. Ever. Even when you're in combat. You panic, you lose your wits, and you're taking advantage. Keep your head, stay calm, cool, and collected if you can. But don't mean you shouldn't be moving fast. Don't mean you shouldn't take care of business. Branch retinal vein oh, I can't pronounce that. High BP religion. Is that what you're dealing with, Brian? Yeah, New Day's on a flat earth thing. It hurt. And now I see a black dot. Oh, Brian, you better take care of yourself, Brian. If you got medications, take them, go to bed, get some rest. Don't be like me up here all night. It ain't good anymore. It's usually just the wick. Maybe you need to replace the wick. All right, make sure you got some lamps. Be a good thing to have. Yeah, those outside solar lamps are pretty good. I got a flashlight here that I bought at a prepping meeting back in about 2017, 2018. Now, you buy this kind, that ain't gonna last you no time. I bought a bunch of those. They're all dead. We're sorry. I bought this long after I bought this one. I don't ever recharge this. It charges under the house lights here, but still works. And it'll float. This is a good flashlight. Now, this company don't make them in camo anymore. They still make them. It is Realtree. 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 Not sure if that's the actual name of the company. I looked them up a while back, and they're still out there. Hybrid Light. Maybe you need to look up Hybrid Light. Either that or Realtree. Says Realtree, but it's been washed out by my stage lights. I was hoping the camera would readjust. No, camera's not readjusting that. There you go. Wait a minute. Got it focused on that. Realtree or Hybrid Light. That's kind of faded out. You can't really read that. Things lasted a long time. It works. I'll go in my bug out bag. This one I'm going to carry with me. Maybe it'll work for years to come. Thank you for sharing that, Tracy. Appreciate that. She's doing the mod's work. First night being a mod. Salute to Tracy. Thank you. All righty, folks. What a crazy night. Morning. We're still alive. Exactly what I expected AB. Yeah, it's been a little off the charts, but we're still alive. And I predict that 8 hours from now, we'll still be alive. I'm going to go to bed in a couple of hours. And I plan to get at least 4 hours winks. Unless somebody disturbs me. Sometimes that happens. But all too often. Or something happens right when I crawl in bed. Everything breaks loose. But I'm expecting to sleep like a baby for just a couple hours at least. Fully plan on it. I'm not going to worry myself. Is Duracell rechargeable battery in my flashlights? That's got a built-in battery, whatever it is. Whatever it's got inside is built in. You can actually charge other devices from it or charge it from other devices with it's got the USB connection in here. It's got the old USB, was it B or C? And it's got that other one that's kind of shaped like a pyramid that don't have the modern USB-C connector. Is this flashlight predated them? So you could charge devices with it or charge it. Pretty handy little flashlight. It's an ideal prepper flashlight. I do carry it with me when I go places. Got a solar power. If I just solar, any light will just light right there is the one that usually charges that light up. Won't take much to charge it. Shaker flashlight. Oh, I've had some in the little winder handles on them. I got a radio one of those. If you wind it for 20 minutes, it'll play for half a minute. Yeah. Kimmy, I don't know about Kimmy. I'll worry about them. I know Billy Club style maglite. Okay, that sounds great. I do have a flashlight here that I put batteries in probably about 2 or 3 years ago. I haven't replaced them. It's still got a pretty strong light to it. Now, this is a heavy duty thing that I wouldn't want anybody to use on me. You know what I mean? It's heavy. Although if I really beat with it, I don't know how durable it'll be in that case. It's made of good metal, but still got interfaces, screw interfaces. A lot of these things they advertise and tell you how tough it is. Yeah, you really put it to use, I got to wonder. I think my old hiking stick would serve just fine for that. Oh yeah, working on the bookmarks. Appreciate that, Tracy. Can't beat the big mag light. Well, that'll only last as long as I can charge batteries. Somewhere, I've got a battery charger that uses urine to charge batteries. I have to find where that is at. Diamond battery. Yeah, that's going to be an interesting battery. Last 50 to 100 years. Last comment from me. All right, Alaska Soul. I got to scroll back up. Take a bottle of water and a flashlight. Tape flashlight to the bottom of the bottle, and you have a light that lights up a bigger space. Oh, yeah, that's true because the light will spread out in the water. That'll work if you want like a lamp to light your room up. It won't be directional like a flashlight. I'll try that with a laser. Yeah. John, I don't know. I've heard them, they'll last 50 years. They might last 100. That's that new diamond battery technology where you got radioactive materials in a diamond crystal. And what they do is they vibrate the lattice structure of the crystal, lattice, lattice, however you want to pronounce it. And that generates voltage continuously. You just got to get enough voltage to actually produce the kind of current you need. When you can get a lot of voltage, you need it in enough amplitude. It's got to be able to produce some amps. Just a little bit anyway. All right, folks, it is 5 a.m. We're going to go right now. Did not mean to be on here this late. Well, it's kind of hard to get away from chatting with you guys. We're family, and I hold all you in the highest regard. Yeah, I'm going to need to talk with New York Prepper. He's a good man. He's a good guy. He's just like, I think he got a little excited tonight. And, you know, with all the stuff going on, I can't blame him. I'm not faulting him at all. Don't read me wrong. Not at all. I just don't think it's going to hit right now. So, yeah, I saw a lot of mag lights when I was young. All righty, folks. I want everybody to keep their eyes open. Keep your head on swivel always. And when, you know, we talked about the great filter here tonight, thanks to Jason Smith bringing a topic up. I plan to do a video on it. Probably post it on Galactic Greg's first. Maybe that's a topic that can go on Green Greg's too, or maybe here on this channel. I will be posting it. There's a video coming out tomorrow about why I do not expect Iran to close the Strait of Hormuz, at least completely. Rubbing crystals together, it's striking the crystal that creates electricity. It's hitting it, striking it, because you depress the crystal and the lattice structure, T structure, where you up here, pronounced both ways all my life. it will cause it to pop out electrons. I can go into that more detail in the future if you squeeze it, but if you expand it, it'll take an electron in. That's what causes earthquake lights, the crystal and the rocks being compressed. Shut my grow lights down. Okay. Just what you're spending on. That's a good thing to do. Money's liable to get thin. All right, guys. I really got to go, seriously. Thank you, super chatters. Thank you, mods. Thank you, everyone, for watching. Please share widely my videos. And just remember what I tell you guys, what I teach you guys is light dispels dark. Love dispels hate. Go out and reach out and shine your love light in the world. Do something kind to somebody, especially somebody that's from a different background, different ways of thinking. It might shock them. It might make them have to reconsider, change their worldview. Wait, I expect this person to be nice. You know, I was talking to a alignment buddy of mine just last night. He was talking about how he helped some guy out. And I said, well, you did a good thing. Because you might have taught that guy that there's goodness in people they don't expect it in. So there'll be shortages. Amen. Amen. Iran might change nations per ship. Yeah, that's closer to what I'm talking about. Closer to what I'm talking about. They pick and choose who goes through, just like the Houthis. Watch my video. It'll be on Green Greg's, probably somewhere between 4 and 6 tomorrow. It's already uploaded. I just hadn't posted it yet. I hadn't put the text that goes with it and all that stuff to it yet, but it's already uploaded. I recorded it this evening. As we still have a power grid tomorrow. I kind of suspect we will, for the most part. Anyway, once again, thank you all. Thank you all for being here. Just thank you all for watching, for being here, one and all.